last episode, we talked about the Partridge Family lunchbox, and I had sneakily placed one of their albums in the shot. Today, we're spinning back through the decades, before the digital age of music, before playlists lived in our pockets and algorithms chose our jams. Music had a ritual, a format, a feel. One click, one hiss, one glorious skip at a time. Ah, the LP. Born in the late 40s, but truly found its groove in the 70s and 80s. Big, bold, beautiful, like disco hair and shoulder pads. You didn't just play a record, you committed to it. Trying to drop the needle on your favorite track was like trying to play the game Operation. It took practice and a steady hand. And unfortunately, if you liked just one song by that group, you had to buy the whole album just to get it. Unless, of course, you bought a product by a company named K-Tel, who did the work for you of taking a bunch of pop songs and putting them all on the same album. And portability, not so much. Even the portable players were bulky, like carry-on suitcases. As for LPs, you didn't carry vinyl, you transported it, usually in a milk crate. Unless, of course, you had their little brothers, the 45. Only problem with these, though, is there was only one song on each side. And next came the Atrack, the chunky rebel of the music world. Big in the 60s and 70s, and if you had one in your car, you were somebody. Created in 1964 by a consortium of Learjet, Motorola, RCA Victor, the Ford Motor Company, and General Motors. It was all about getting music into your car, something different than just having an AM or even an AM/FM radio. But you couldn't rewind, you couldn't fast forward precisely. It was like musical roulette. You never knew where the song would start. And why was it called an A-track? Well, here's the math. Each of the 4 tracks had a left and right stereo channel. 4 times 2 is 8. Portability, definitely better than the LP because you could take it with you in your car. But this was about the best you could do for a portable player. Bulky, and like the Vertibird from episode 5, this took lots of D-sized batteries. And while you could record your own A-track if you had one of those higher end devices, the cassette really started the mixtape era. The love letter format, the I stayed up all night listening to the radio so I could record your favorite song format. I had several. I actually had an entire series called Stuff, 1 through 4. Now you've probably heard the phrase, "You sound like a broken record." Problem was, if you actually had a broken record, there wasn't much you could do about it. But for the first time, if your tape came unspooled, there was something you could do about it as long as you had a special tool. One of these. All it took was take it in there and you could rewind your tape back in, hopefully, and get it to play again. And how about portability, you ask? Oh, yes. Cassettes exploded as a mass media format with the invention of this little device. The first Walkman was invented in 1979. So now with Walkmans, boomboxes, glove compartments, cassettes went everywhere you did. Now, 8-tracks and cassettes came onto the music scene at about the same time in the 1960s, and initially the 8-track was the more popular format. Probably had something to do with your ability to take it in a car. But with the advent of Walkman and boomboxes, the cassette quickly took over. Because all you had to do was pop your cassette in your player and get on the road. And now, not only was the music portable, it was private. Only you were listening to it. But it did require turning the tape over for side 2, and it took a little practice with the rewind and fast forward buttons to be able to get exactly to the song that you wanted. And then came the compact disc. Sleek, digital, portable, skippable, but in a good way. And it felt like music had finally entered the space age. And unlike the 8-track and the cassette, sometimes the little inserts included the lyrics to the song, although you might have needed a magnifying glass to read them. And portability, well, they were better quality, they were small in size, and eventually every automobile had a CD player in it. But if you wanted to go for a walk with your CD, you needed a Discman with anti-skip. And each format had its own quirks, but they all did one thing right. They delivered the music. And here's a question for you, and you can leave your answer in the comments. Which album or albums did you own on the most formats? For me, it was Meatloaf's Bat Outta Hell. I had it in LP, 8-track, cassette, compact disc, and of course now on my Spotify playlist. And each of these formats had a unique sound. And I'm not just talking about the quality of the music, I'm talking about that crackle and pop of an LP. The ka-chunk of an 8-track changing tracks. The whirling noise of a cassette rewinding or fast forwarding. And that barely audible spin-up sound of the compact disc. Throughout all these formats, The packaging changed, but the song remained the same. They were ours to jam with our friends, ours to sing along to, ours to win over someone's affection with that custom-made mixtape, and ours to dance to like nobody was watching. And they can't take that away from us ever, not even in Beaumont. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.